Alright, shalom. All praises be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kwadash, Kahala Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Kahala Yahweh, Kadasha Kadyasha Allah, Wa Kwamban Abba, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai Nawa. And what I said there in Hebrew is, all praises be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Father, Yahweh Shai is the name of the Son. All praises be unto the Most High Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel. And rise, O Son of the Father, Yahweh Shai, and save us. Just a little bit of Hebrew. Double honor unto the elder apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, who are well taught us his truth. Salutes unto all the sincere Archim, Yahweh Shem Shai Brakatam. Now this is Genesis, the 19th chapter, and it says, and the two angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot was, and you had Sodom, you had Gomorrah, Zoar, Admah, Zoarbim, but the two principal cities was Sodom and Gomorrah. And it says, and Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom, and Lot saw and arose toward them, and he prostrated himself on his face to the ground, and he said, behold now, my lords. And that's would be other one, right, or other one yom, okay, my superiors, superior landlord, powers, boss, if you will. Okay, because he acknowledged the angels were his superiors, over him at a particular time and circumstance and scenario. So he said, and he said, behold now, my lords, please turn your servants to your servant's house and stay overnight and wash your feet, and ye shall arise early and go on your way. And they said, no, but we will stay overnight in the street. Now, this is an ancient Israelite custom that if you had guests, come into your house in the evening, or they were there and evening happened to come, you wouldn't let them go back to their house. You'd have a guest house, and they would stay in your guest house, and your servants, or even your children, if they were still underneath your household, they would, tend to your guests, and washing of the feet, and giving of milk and food, sitting at meat is customary, okay? So this is what Lot was doing. But the angels said, nah, we're going to just sleep outside. And he urged them strongly, and they turned into him and came into his house, and he made them a feast, and he baked unleavened cakes, and they ate, which is basically, flatbread, right? And when they had not yet retired, and the people of the city, the people of Sodom, surrounded the house, both young and old, the entire populace, from every end of the city. Now, just to say, I'm reading from the Torah. So it renders slightly different to the King James Version, which is okay. We have the Tanakh, the book, you read out of it, and the Pesach, it's got the Assyrian script, the Hebrew. It reads slightly different to the King James Version, but it's still closely accurate, so it's fine, But this is from the Torah, and it says, and they called to Lot and said to him, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us, and let us be intimate with them, okay? Because, they had gangbang orgies and, involved themselves in alphabet activities, and everyone had a taste of everyone, but they saw these two men as fresh meat, so they wanted to basically indulge in an orgy with the angels, okay? Because these two men were angels. And Lot came out to them, to the entrance, and he shut the door behind him. And he said, my brethren, please do not do evil, okay? Because again, ancient Israelite custom, it was to protect those within your gates, even with your life, okay? This is what Lot essentially did. And it says, behold, now I have 2 daughters who were not intimate with a man. I will bring them out to you, and do to them as you see fit. Only to these men do nothing, because they have not come under the shadow of my roof. Okay, so like, because they have come under the shadow of my roof. Again, going back to anyone that is under your roof or within your gates, it's your custom, or our custom as Israelites. It's your duty to protect them with your life. So Lot would have given his virgin daughters so that they could, satisfy their lust, but they wanted something else, but they said, back away, and they said, this one came to sojourn, and he is judging. Now we will deal even worse with you than with them. And they pressed hard upon the man Lot, and they drew near to break the door. And when you, a lot of times people think about alphabet people as soft and all that stuff, but really they're violent, so-and-sos, man. I was going to throw 2 curse words, but let me not do that. But them alphabet people, they're quite violent, they have a high pain tolerance. You do the maths, but they're very violent, man. So that they were trying to, get past Lot and break through the door. And it says, and the men stretched forth their hands, and they brought Lot to them to the house, and they shut the door. And the men who were at the entrance of the house, they struck with blindness, both small and great, and they told in vain to find the entrance. So the angels blinded them, but even blind, they were still trying to get it. It shows you, that was a demonic possession to try and get, to the back door of men, okay? And the men said to Lot, whom else do you have here? A son-in-law, your sons and your daughters, and whomever you have in the sea, take out of the place. For we are destroying this place, because their cry had become great before the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. So the angels basically told Lot to get out, man. And you can continue reading the chapter. It's good, but that's the point. Lot, righteous Lot. Okay, the scriptures speak about that, man. Was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. But I wanted to touch on a biblical example, written in the scriptures of how, it's your ancient Israelite custom to defend your guests, even with your life, But in this case, the 2 men were angels, and, they messed up them dudes, man. And then pretty much the angels told Lot to get out because they were sent to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? So anyways with that, man, shalom.